already there. Portland is ready and available to buy these shares. Then let's give the first priority to the local company. We appreciate the direct foreign investment, but when there is a local investor, you should give them priority, and this should be given to the Portland. The other point that was I just heard one of my colleagues indicate that this, and I'm going to derive what he was saying, that since today the members that are present here are not supporting this or are supporting the report, and they are not supporting the company to be sold to an outside company, a foreign company, yet there's a company that can buy it in Kenya. Now there is suggestions and recommendations that this be set aside and probably brought back at a time that is favorable. That way we are able to just sell this organization at, as it was said previously, at 50%. So let's conclude this matter. The members that are here are sufficient. They are able to conclude this matter sufficiently and ably. Thank you.
Honorable Kaluma.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I beg to reiterate the motion initially moved by some honorable members here. This matter is concerning a vital public asset. I'm worried about time. I'm worried about the substance of this matter. And Honorable Speaker, I'm worried about our other considerations considering, Honorable Speaker, that we are set to go on recess. We have other businesses, including questions and statements, raising matters of concern to Kenyans. Honorable Speaker, without seeking review of your previous decision, may I move, Honorable Speaker, that this motion be adjourned to a future date for a more detailed consideration by the House. And Honorable Speaker, so that we can go to questions, we can go to statements, and this would be important, because if we are adjourning today, the matters which were raised for questions, the matters which were raised in request for statements, are matters the Kenyans who raised them want to hear about, even if you are going on recess.
We have heard you, Honorable.
May I request that the standing orders require that you make a ruling in the interest of the House and for our convenience. You adjourn this motion. You allow some of us, like myself, who has not read it, to go and read it so that we can come and together as a House we make a decision on this important issue, but we use this time to raise those issues before we go.
Thank you, honorable members. No, we have had enough of that. Honorable members, indeed, when a member rose on standing order number 96, like I put it earlier, I thought there were those members who were ready to debate this particular one. But again, the first speaker who did speak on this, who was the Honorable Daud, raised very pertinent issues. And you were listened to in silence, and your speak was very, very weighty. And given that these are very weighty matter, as you can see, the interests are very high. And the Kenyans, who are the owners of that particular property, are also very important. You would agree with me that this is a matter that would require that we deal with when this House is at a later date. So therefore, Honorable Speaker, honorable members, I want to defer this putting of the question and debate. So therefore, I will proceed to put the question to yourselves, that this particular debate be adjourned until a further sitting. Honorable members, you may take your seats. Honorable members, you may take your seats. I proceed to put the question, which is that this particular debate be adjourned until the next sitting. Will as many of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many of the contrary opinion say nay? Nay. The ayes have it. Next order. Next order.
Order
And
number
notice,
7,
honorable members,
questions and statements.
as we move to questions and statements, we have done it very well, very orderly, and everybody has taken his place. Questions and statements, order number 7. A statement by the Honorable Samuel Gachobe, MP. Subukia is in the house. Proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. And I rise to request for a statement regarding the death of Eric Tanui Koros in a police custody at Solai Police Base. Honorable Speaker, pursuant to the provisions of Standing Order 44.2c, I wish to request for a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Administration and Internal Security regarding the death of Mr. Eric Tanui Koros while in a police custody at Solai Police Station. Honorable Speaker, on 7th October 2025, Mr. Eric Tanui Koros of ID number 237-71292 was arrested on allegation of theft and detained at Solai Center Patrol Base, which falls under the jurisdiction of Solai Police Station Kamukunji, Rongai Sub-County, Nakuru County. He was formally booked into the holding cell at 1540 hours under occurrence book OB number 08 on 7th October 2025. After approximately 1 hour being around 1640 hours, during a routine cell check, the duty officer reportedly discovered that Mr. Koros has died while in custody. The officer promptly reported the matter to the Directorate of Criminal Investigation, DCI, and the deceased next of kin were also informed. Family members subsequently visited the scene and positively identified the body as that of Mr. Eric Tanui Koros. Honorable Speaker, the police at Solai Police Base claimed that Mr. Eric Tanui Koros died by suicide through hanging using a strip torn from a blanket issued in the holding cell. The explanation has caused public outrage, with the deceased family and the public seriously questioning the credibility of the claim, particularly given the short time frame between the detention and death of the victim. These circumstances have fueled suspicion of foul play and a cover-up. The death in the police custody, especially within 1 hour of arrest, raises fundamental concern about human rights, police accountability, and public trust in the rule of law. It demands an immediate, thorough, impartial, and fully transparent investigation by an independent body with no connection to the arresting or detaining officer. Additionally, the family of Mr. Eric Tanui Koros is entitled to the truth regarding the circumstances of the Erupts one death. Honorable Speaker, it is against this background that I request for a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Administration and Internal Security on the following. Roman 1, a comprehensive report on the investigation into the circumstances surrounding the death of Mr. Eric Tanui Koros while in police custody at Solai Police Patrol Base. Roman 2, a detailed account of all actions by police officers in relation to Mr. Kolos from the moment of his arrest, transportation to the police base, booking, detention, cell checks, and any medical attention provided up to the point of discovery of his lifeless body. Roman 3, any disciplinary action or criminal measures taken against the officers who were on duty at Solai Police Patrol Base at the time of the occurrence, including whether any officer has been interdicted, suspended, arraigned, or charged in connection with the death of Mr. Koros. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Very well. The statement is referred to the Chair, Administration and Internal Security. Yes, the deputy is there.
Mr. Speaker, we'll respond to this 2 weeks after we come back from recess. Thank you.
Very well, 2 weeks after recess. The next statement is by the Honorable Cynthia Muge, MP, Nandi County.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Pursuant to the provisions of Standing Order 44-2C, I rise to request for a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Administration and Internal Security regarding 2 tragic incidents of insecurity in Tindret, Nandi County. Honorable Speaker, on the night of 30th November 2025, unknown armed assailants raided Chebonet Cooperative Society, and during this heinous act, Mr. Kibitok Arab Chirchir, a security guard at the cooperative, was killed, and the attackers made away with significant quantities of coffee beans that had been stored in the cooperative. Similarly, Honorable Speaker, on the night of 2nd December 2025, the Kenland Cooperative Society was attacked, leading to the tragic killing of Mr. Jafet Kurgat. These shocking incidents have caused immense fear and distress among farmers and residents in the area. Of great concern, Honorable Speaker, is the pattern of the insecurity incidents within days of one another, highlighting an alarming rise in security targeting cooperative societies and the agricultural value chain in the region. Such incidents, as Honorable Speaker, severely undermine the effort of our farmers and cooperative societies, which are striving to build Nandi County's contribution to the national coffee production. Honorable Speaker, there are also growing concerns regarding cartels operating outside legally recognized cooperative channels and engaged in illegal hawking of coffee beans. These cartels, Honorable Speaker, exploit gaps in enforcement and create porous conditions that aid the coffee beans theft and the smuggling of the coffee beans and other forms of illicit coffee business. Their actions, Honorable Speaker, destabilize the sector, it distorts the prices, it sabotages the cooperative structures, and exposes farmers to exploitation. Calling for urgent intervention to safeguard the gains made by coffee farmers in Nandi County and other regions in this country is paramount. Honorable Speaker, it is against this background that I seek a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Administration and Internal Security on the following matters. 1, Honorable Speaker, a report on the steps that have been taken by the National Police Service to investigate the 2 attacks and bring the perpetrators to justice. Number 2, the security measures being implemented to protect cooperative societies and coffee storage facilities in Nandi County from attacks and theft of coffee beans. Number 3, the actions being taken to dismantle cartels involved in the illegal hawking of coffee beans and to seal loopholes that allow theft and illicit trade to flourish. 4, Honorable Speaker, the long-term strategies in place or being developed to safeguard high-value agricultural commodities and to protect farmers from organized criminal elements. And lastly, the support being provided to the families of the slain guards and the government initiatives to enhance better protection of individuals working in private security firms. I thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Chair, Dido Rasu.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I think we could respond quickly to this, but because of recess, I think we can only say that Immediately we come from recess, then we'll be able to respond to honorable colleague.
So 2 weeks
2
after
weeks.
recess.
2 weeks.
Very well. A statement by the Honorable Ali Abdi, MP Jara. Please give Abdi the mic.
Honorable Speaker, in pursuit to the provision of Standing Order 44.2c, I rise to request for statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Blue Economy, Water and Irrigation regarding the status of water connectivity in Ijara constituency. Honorable Speaker, access to clean, safe and sustainable water is a fundamental human right expressly guaranteed under Article 43 of the Constitution and a cornerstone of public health, food security, economic prosperity, and environmental resilience. In Ijara constituency, a region of over 300 people, as per the projection 2025 projection, situated along the perennial River Tana, this constitutional entitlement remains gravely unfulfilled. Despite the river's abundance, reliable piped water reaches only a small minority of households. The vast majority rely on untreated surface water, distant and frequent saline boreholes, costly water tracking or unregulated vendors exposing communities to recurrent waterborne diseases, crippling expenditures, lost productivity, and acute vulnerability to climatic shocks. The devastating 2025 drought recorded by meteorologists as the worst in 50 years, with temperatures regularly exceeding 40 degrees, has intensified this crisis to a breaking point. Honorable Speaker, nationally, per capita water consumption has fallen to 26.4 liters per day. In rural Ijara constituency, households often survive on less than 15 to 20 liters, barely 1/3 of the World Health Organization minimum standard of 50 liters required for basic health and dignity. Persistent shortages compounded by power outages, silted intakes, and chronic maintenance delays perpetuate a vicious circle of disease, school absenteeism, particularly among girls tasked with water collections, diminished livelihoods, and deepening poverty. This situation constitutes a systematic and a continuing violation of the state constitutional duty to progressively realize the right to water without discrimination. Immediate large-scale and climate-resilient investment in suitable water infrastructure for Ijara is therefore an urgent moral imperative. Honorable Speaker, it's against this background that I seek a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Blue Economy, Water and Irrigation on the following: the current planning, design, procurement status of Ijara Water Works, that is piping from Masalani to Ijara, Sengailu, Hulugo, that is Masalani, Ijara, Bodai town, and also Masalani to Kuhara, Kotile, and Korisa and Abaratiro through the Northern Waterworks Development Agency. Budgetary allocation and financial plan for the project, if any, including funds already disbursed, the challenges including technical, financial, or administrative, under the strategic interventions taken by the ministry to overcome those challenges. Plans put in place by the ministry to guarantee the long-term sustainability, efficiency, and affordability of water supply to the people living along Tana River corridors and also above Tana River corridors, that is Ijara to Masalani to Ijara, Hulugo, Sengailu, that is also Masalani Ijara to Bodai town. And that's also Ijara Masalani to Kotile, Hara, Korisa, and Abalatiro. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
The Chair, Blue Economy, Water and Irrigation. Very well. The statement is referred to that particular committee, the Blue Economy, Water and Irrigation, and leadership to inform the Chair the same, and to be replied to 2 weeks after recess. The next statement is by the Honorable Emate Namwar, MP Turkana.
Request for statement regarding disruption of the Kalahari water project in Turkana Central constituency. Honorable Speaker, pursuant to the provisions of Standing Order 44-2C, I rise to request for a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Blue Economy, Water and Irrigation regarding the disruption of the Kalahari water project in Turkana Central constituency due to rising water levels in Lake Turkana. Honorable Speaker, residents of Turkana Central constituency, particularly those in Kalahari and parts of Kangatodha ward, have for a long time faced chronic water scarcity due to arid climatic conditions, erratic rainfall patterns, and inadequate water infrastructure. According to the Kenya Demographic and Health Survey, KDHS 2022, only 42% of households in Turkana County have access to at least a basic safe drinking water service, compared to the national average of 68%. To address this need, the Kalahari Water Project was initiated under the Central Rift Valley Waterworks Authority, with water sourced from the Elia Spring in Kangatodha ward. The project was designed to supply approximately 21,841 residents with water through a 35-kilometer pipeline with distribution points at Wadach, Lobolo, Loyoro, Tapeget, and Nayane Kalale. However, in July 2025, rising water levels in Lake Turkana submerged the Elia Spring, crippling the project. This disruption has adversely affected households, businesses, tourism, and public institutions relying on this water supply. This situation has caused setbacks in the progress made towards addressing water scarcity in Turkana and highlights the urgent need for sustainable and climate-adaptive water systems in the region. Honorable Speaker, it is against this background that I request for a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Blue Economy, Water and Irrigation on the following. Number one, a report on assessment of the damage caused by the rising water levels of Lake Turkana on the Elia Spring and the Kalahari Water Project, including its impact on livelihoods and the community. Two, reasons for implementation of the Kalahari Water Project by the Central Rift Valley Waterworks Authority instead of the North Rift Waterworks Development Authority, which ordinarily has jurisdiction over Turkana County. Number three, immediate and long-term measures that the ministry has taken to salvage or rehabilitate the Elia water spring, including provision of alternative and sustainable water sources to ensure uninterrupted water supply to residents of Turkana Central constituency. 4, specific timelines for the revival and full restoration of the Kalahari Water Project. And number 5, plans put in place by the ministry to safeguard water infrastructure in low-lying and climate-vulnerable areas of Turkana County and other arid and semi-arid areas. I thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Again, the statement is referred to the Committee of Blue Economy, Water and Irrigation, and to be replied to 2 weeks after recess. The next statement is by the Honorable Tandaza Kasim MP, but I have a letter here to the Speaker of the National Assembly asking the Honorable Elachi to actually read the statement on his behalf. Honorable Elachi.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I rise to ask a statement regarding the blocking of a bank account of a Kenyan citizen by the Al Raji Bank in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. Honorable Speaker, pursuant to the provisions of Standing Order 44-2C, I rise to request from a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Defense, Intelligence and Foreign Relations regarding the blockage over the bank account of Ms. Msawe Suleiman Mambo, a Kenyan national, by the Al Rahaji Bank in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. Honorable Speaker, Ms. Msawe Suleiman Mambo of passport number AK04694069 has been living and working in Saudi Arabia for 2 years, during which period she opened and operated a bank account with Al Raji Bank. On 7th September 2025, while at the airport in Saudi Arabia for her flight back to Kenya, she was able to access her bank account and transact without difficulty. However, upon her arrival in Kenya on 8th September 2025, she has been unsuccessful in reaching the bank, which remains unresponsive, and no reasons have been given for blocking access to her account. The account holds her savings accumulated during her period of employment in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. It is unfortunate that with her life savings locked and inaccessible, she is now unable to afford basic amenities, further exacerbating the economic challenges she faces in settling back in Kenya. Honorable Speaker, it is against this background that I seek a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Defense, Intelligence and Foreign Relations on the following: the steps taken by the Kenyan Embassy in Saudi Arabia in collaboration with the relevant Saudi Arabian authorities to facilitate the restoration of Ms. Msawe Suleiman's access to the bank account to allow utilization of her funds, and the measures put in place to strengthen consular support for Kenyans working in the Gulf region, including assistance in financial disputes, documentation, challenges, and other forms of distress. I thank you, Honorable Speaker.
The statement is referred to the Committee on Defense, Intelligence, and Foreign Relations. Is the chair in the House? The Vice Chair, proceed.
Thank you, Speaker. And I think looking at the urgency of that matter, we will be able to do that 2 weeks within resumption of recess, but nevertheless, we'll be able to transmit the same to the ministry concerned so that they can give us an answer even much earlier.
Very well. The next statement is by the Honorable Bernard Shinali, MP, Ikolomani constituency.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I rise to request for a statement regarding the disruption of a public participation forum in Bushangala, Isolo Ikolomani constituency. Honorable Speaker, pursuant to the provision of Standing Order number 44-2C, I rise to request for a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Administration and Internal Security regarding the violent disruption of a public participation forum convened by the National Environment Management Authority, NEMA, today, 4th December 2025, in Bushangala, Musali, Isolo area, in Ikolomani constituency. Honorable Speaker, NEMA invited members of a public from Bushangala area, Ikolomani constituency, to a public participation forum to present their views on the environmental impact assessment, EIA, study report by Shanda Gold Kenya Limited for the proposed Isolo Bushangala underground gold mining project in Musoli and Isolo locations, Kakamega South Sub-County. However, anti-riot police were deployed to the venue where they reportedly lobbied tear gas at the members of the public and dispersed them from the from the meeting that was scheduled to commence at 10 a.m. It is regrettable that the meeting turned violent, with attendees indicating that there was use of excessive force on unarmed members of the public. 3 people have died. Honorable Speaker. People are feared dead. While so many people are feared dead, while several others have sustained injuries during what was intended to be a peaceful, participatory exercise as guaranteed by Article 10 of the Constitution. Honorable Speaker, this comes barely 3 weeks after NEMA cancelled another widely publicized public participation that was scheduled to take place at Bushangala Technical Training Institute, citing concerns about the security situation. The deployment of police not to ensure security, but to use disproportionate force not only undermines the principle of public participation activities, but also raises serious concerns on the conduct of law enforcement agencies in such an instance. Public participation must be safe, inclusive, respectful, and protected as guaranteed by the Constitution. It is, Honorable Speaker, it is under this background that I request a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Administration and Internal Security on the following. A report on the events that happened in Bushangala today, 4th December 2025, including circumstances that led to the deployment of anti-riot police at a public participation forum and the reported use of excessive force. Number 2, status of investigations into the alleged death and injuries suffered by members of public. Number 3, steps that the Ministry of Interior and National Administration is taking to ensure the law enforcement agencies protect and not infringe on constitutional rights, particularly during this such a public participation. Number 4, the reason for NEMA exposing public to attacks by convening a second public participation exercise in the same area before guaranteeing the safety of members of public, given that the initial activity was cancelled due to security concerns, and measures that the ministry is taking in conjunction with the NEMA to safeguard the public participation process to ensure it is free from intimidation or harm.
Once you have done the statement as it was, are you through?
Honorable Speaker, allow me to mourn with my people who have died. They were exercising their right, constitutional right.
Please, Honorable Shinali, the list of statements is, so take just 1 minute.
Just 1 minute, Honorable Speaker. Thank you very much. Honorable Speaker, I wish to convey my condolence to the families, the people of Ikolomani, people of Kakamega, and the public for the instances which have happened in Ikolomani. They are uncalled for. Any investment that we require or is coming in an area must be in a civilized manner, must not be forced onto people. There's community, there are stakeholders, and we have, most importantly, the artisanal miners, which must be conducted, engaged, and agree on how to work together. This is a shame that is happening today in Kenya, that we believe such a things, such a instances, using of force, deploying police on unarmed citizens is barbaric.
Very well.
Thank you.
The list of statements were overwhelming. This one is referred to the Committee on Administration and Internal Security. Chair. Please give the chair the mic. Honorable Tongoyo. You can use that one.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. We can able to give the response the first Thursday on resumption from recess. But in between considering the seriousness of the issue, once we get the response from the minister, I can as well transmit the response to the concerned member of parliament, considering that we will be on a long recess. And I equally join the member of parliament to pass my condolences to the family of the lost ones.
Very well.
Yeah.
The next statement is by the Honorable Joseph Gitari, MP Kirinyaga Central.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, pursuant to the provision of Standing Order 44.2c, I wish to request for a statement from the chairperson of Diaspora and Migrant Workers Committee and repatriation of Mrs. Ririan Jerry Jockey from Oman. Honorable Speaker, on 8th November 2025, Ririan Jerry Jockey, holder of passport number AK 129-2887, traveled to Oman under domestic worker visa issued by her official sponsor, Mr. Issa Abdul Sarim Al Mamari of Shohal, Oman. She was recruited through Mosa Placement Company, located at Campus Towers, Nairobi. Shortly after commencing employment, Jockey fell ill and sought medical attention. Subsequently, she was dismissed by her employer and handed over to a local recruitment agency, where she was allegedly subjected to assault, verbal abuse, and confinement in a hostel without access to medical care. The agency is reportedly demanding a payment of $2,000 as a condition for her release and repatriation to Kenya. The action raised grave concerns relating to the labor exploitation, coercion, and possible human trafficking, and require urgent intervention. Honorable Speaker, it is against this background that I request for a statement from the chairperson of the Diaspora and Migrant Workers Committee on the following. The immediate steps the government is taking to secure the safety of Ririan Jerry Jockey of passport number AK 129-2887, who is stranded in Oman, and facilitate her access to medical care and repatriation to Kenya. Number two, a report on whether Mosa Placement Company is duly licensed in accordance with existing regulation governing foreign employment, recruitment, and a track record of the company's recruitment activities from its inception. Three, long-term measures the government is putting in place to strengthen protection mechanisms for Kenyan migrant workers to prevent exploitation and abuse by recruitment agencies and employers. I thank you, Honorable Speaker.
The statement is referred to the Departmental Committee on Diaspora and Migrant Workers. Is the chair in the House? Honorable Dido Raso, you inform the chair of Diaspora and Migrant Workers that this statement will be replied to 2 weeks after recess. Next statement, yes, Dido Raso?
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Most obliged.
Thank you. The next statement is by the Honorable Mohammed Machele, MP, Mvita.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Honorable Speaker, pursuant to the Provisional Standing Order 44.2c, I rise to request for a statement from the Chairperson of Departmental Committee on Education regarding the harmonization of the house allowance and review of the delocalization policy for teachers in Mombasa County. Honorable Speaker, Mombasa is the second largest city in Kenya and among the most expensive to live in. Despite the high cost of housing, the Teachers Service Commission, TSC, continue to categorize Mombasa under Cluster 2, while Nairobi is classified as Cluster 1, resulting in a wide disparity in house allowances. For example, teachers in job group C5 earning Kenya shilling 25,500 in Mombasa, compared to Kenya shilling 35,000 in Nairobi, while those in D1 to D3 earning Kenya shilling 28,000 in Mombasa against Kenya shilling 45,000 in Nairobi. This disparity has demoralized teachers in Mombasa who struggle to afford decent house despite working in a city with a cost of living comparable to Nairobi. To make matter worse, the TSC continued to enforce the delocalization policy under which teachers promoted to administrative positions such as head teacher or deputy head teacher are transferred outside Mombasa County. This not only disturbed families, but also reduced their house allowance when moved to a low-cost cluster, effectively turning promotion into a financial demotion. This policy is both unfair and counterproductive. Honorable Speaker, it is against this background that I request for a statement from the Chairperson Departmental Committee on Education on the following. 1, a report on the reason for continued classification of Mombasa City under Cluster 2, despite the high cost of living comparable to Nairobi City. 2, clarification on the criteria for clustering house allowances and whether TSC has conducted any recent cost of living assessment of urban areas and cities, especially Mombasa City, to inform the house allowances. 3, step been taken by the TSC intend to harmonize the house allowances for teachers in Mombasa with those in Nairobi, give the comparable cost of living. 4, mechanism in place to cushion teachers affected by the delocalization policy from reduction in house allowances upon promotion to the low-cost cluster regions. And 5, step been taken to repost delocalization teachers moved through promotion back to their previous station in line with government commitment to end punitive transfers. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Very well, the statement is referred to the Departmental Committee on Education and to be replied to 2 weeks after recess. The next statement is by the Honorable Yusuf Farah, MP, Wajir West, who was in the House.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Request for statement regarding frequent power blackouts in Wajir County. Honorable Speaker, pursuant to the provisions of Standing Order 44-2C, I rise to request for a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Energy regarding frequent power blackouts in Wajir County. Honorable Speaker, for several months, residents of Wajir town had endured persistent and prolonged power outages, some lasting several days. These blackouts have caused immense inconvenience and disrupted essential services, including health services, thereby compromising cold chain systems for vaccines. Local businesses that rely on electricity have also suffered significant losses due to the power outages. Notably, Mr. Speaker, the Hadado mini-grid, which was constructed to supplement power supply in the area, has experienced operational difficulties since 2022 worsening situation. Honorable Speaker, it is against this backdrop that I request for a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Energy on the following. 1. The reasons for the persistent power outages currently being experienced in Wajir County and the immediate and long-term measures that the government will put in place to resolve the matter. 2. The operational status of the Hadado mini-grid in Wajir County. I thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Very well, the statement is referred to the Departmental Committee on Energy. Is the chair in the House? Vice Chair? Honorable Raso again, you informed your colleague chair, and this statement to be replied to 2 weeks after recess.
Most obliged, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you. The next statement is by the Honorable Rael Kasiwai, MP, West Pokot.
Request for statement regarding the welfare and rights of workers engaged in the Kitale-Morpus Road. Honorable Speaker, pursuant to the provisions of Standing Order 44-2C, I rise to request for a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Labor regarding the recent protests by workers engaged in the construction of the Kitale-Morpus Road in West Pokot County. Honorable Speaker, the construction of the Kitale-Morpus Road in West Pokot County being implemented by the Chongqing International Construction Corporation, CICO, the construction commenced in November 2024, and approximately 100 workers are currently assigned to the site. However, the workers have raised serious concerns regarding poor remuneration, harassment at the workplace, and exposed to unsafe and hazardous poor working conditions without adequate safety measures. Honorable Speaker, while the grievances have been highlighted by workers on the Kitale-Morpus Road, similar complaints have been reported across various work sites in the country, pointing to a broader systemic challenge that requires urgent intervention. Honorable Speaker, it is against this background that I seek a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Labor on the following. 1. Measures put in place by the Ministry of Labor to investigate the allegations of poor pay, harassment, and unsafe working conditions affecting workers employed by CICO on the Kitale-Morpus Road project in West Pokot. 2. Steps in place to ensure that all workers engaged in the project enjoy their constitutional rights, including the freedom to join and participate in trade unions without intimidation or victimization. 3, I want to know the mechanisms that exist at the ministry level to monitor compliance with occupational safety standards on construction sites nationwide. And lastly, but not least, Honorable Speaker, I want to know the long-term policy or enforcement actions being pursued to address the recurring national complaints relating to workers' rights, fair remuneration, and protection from exploitation on public and private infrastructure projects. I thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Great. The statement is referred to the Departmental Committee on Labor. Is the chair or vice chair in the House? Any member from the Labor Committee?
Okay, thank you, Mr. Speaker. I think I may not commit, but within that time of recess, maybe in the first 2 weeks, we can be able to report the report of the statement.
You just need to commit because you can always act. So
Okay.
2 weeks.
2 weeks.
After
yeah.
recess. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
The next statement is by the Honorable Mark Mwenje, MP Embakasi West.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. This is a request for a statement regarding the alleged grabbing of land for public utility in Umoja and Embakasi West. Honorable Speaker, pursuant to the provisions of Standing Order 44.2c, I wish to request for a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Lands regarding the alleged grabbing of a public utility land in Umoja and Embakasi West constituency. Honorable Speaker, the parcel land LR number Nairobi, block 109-2380, situated along Moi Drive in Umoja area, Embakasi West constituency, was originally designated as a public utility intended for the benefit of residents. Despite the need for essential facilities, including provision of a bus terminus to serve public service vehicles operating along the area, the land has allegedly been illegally occupied by a private individual. This alleged encroachment has raised concern among residents who rely on the facility for essential social services. Such encroachment, if not forestalled, could undermine public confidence in land administration and deny communities access to essential services. Honorable Speaker, it is against this background that I request for a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Lands on the following. One, a report on the current ownership status of LR Nairobi Block 109/2380, situated along Moi Drive in Umoja area, Embakasi West constituency, including details of any allocation or change of user that may have been undertaken and the legality of such allocations or changes. Two, the steps being taken to investigate the alleged land grabbing and restore the land to its intended public purpose. Three, the immediate measures being taken to ensure that the residents regain access to the land for its intended public benefit. And finally, the long-term measures in place to safeguard public utility lands from encroachment. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Great. The statement is referred to the Departmental Committee on Lands to be answered 2 weeks after recess. Chair Lands, Honorable Raso, again I'll refer to you to inform the chair. Give Honorable Raso the mic.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Most obliged.
Very well. The next statement is by the Honorable Joyce Kamene, MP Machakos County.
Thank you, Mr.
There's a mic just next to you. Yes, proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I request for a statement regarding the squatters residing on the land LR number 111-895/20 in Sabaki, Athi River, Mavoko Sub-County. Honorable Speaker, pursuant to the provision of Standing Order 44.2c, I rise to request for a statement from the chairperson of the Department Committee of Lands regarding the squatters living on the parcel of land LR number 11895/20, Sabaki in Athi River, Mavoko Sub-County, which is being claimed by the Numerical Machinery Complex Limited. Honorable Speaker, the parcel of land LR number 11895/20 has been in habitation by squatters in the Sabati area since 2006. Over the years, the residents have invested their time, resources, and efforts in transforming the land, establishing homes, and forming cohesive and thriving community. However, on 26th January 2022, Numerical Machinery Complex Limited issued a caveat notice claiming ownership of the land, indicating its intention to sell it. The company has already hived off and sold portions of the said land to private developers, despite numerous letters from the squatters requesting consideration for settlement or compensation for developments made on the land. The company is yet to respond. The residents now face imminent eviction for the loss of their long-established investment. Honorable Speaker, it is against this background that I request for a statement from the chairperson of the Department Committee of Lands on the following. Roman 1, the current ownership status of the parcel of land LR number 11895/20, including what portion of it has been located or transferred to private individuals. Roman 2, the immediate measures in place to protect the squatters from harassment, intimidation, or eviction pending an amicable resolution for the matter. 3, the steps being taken by the ministry to resolve the stalemate between the squatters and Numerical Machinery Complex Limited. And 4, the strategy that the government intends to adapt to prevent unauthorized occupation of idle public land in future to forestall similar disputes. I thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Very well, refer to the Departmental Committee on Lands and to be replied to 2 weeks after recess. Honorable members, I appreciate you having stayed long, and please move faster so that we may actually have all the statements read. Let's have a statement from the Honorable Suleha Harun, MP.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Pursuant to the provisions of Standing Order 44-2C, I wish to request for a statement from the Chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Regional Development regarding the severe and escalating drought situation in Mandera County. Honorable Speaker, Mandera County is facing one of the most severe droughts in decades following the complete failure of the rainfall during the 2 consecutive seasons, the short rains and the long rains in 2025. The impact have been devastating and far-reaching. Livestock, the cornerstone of the livelihood of the county's predominantly pastoralist communities, have died in catastrophic numbers, wiping out household wealth built over generations. Thousands of families who were once lived with dignity are now confronting acute hunger, severe water scarcity, and the looming threat of famine. Honorable Speaker, the situation has escalated into a full-scale humanitarian emergency that now requires urgent national intervention, including a formal declaration of the drought as a national disaster. Such a declaration will unlock emergency funding, enhance intergovernmental and interagency coordination, and accelerate the mobilization of both domestic and international assistance. Timely and scaled-up action is essential to prevent widespread loss of life and irreversible socio-economic collapse in Mandera County. Honorable Speaker, it's against this background that I request for a statement from the Chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Regional Development on the following. 1, emergency measures being put in place by the Ministry for East African Community Affairs and Regional Development to supply food, water, medical assistance to the affected communities in Mandera County. 2, consideration, if any, to declare drought in northern Kenya a national disaster so as to scale up interventions to address the humanitarian crisis. 3, action being taken by the Ministry for the long-term interventions to build resilience and prevent such severe impacts of droughts in the future. And 4, timelines within which the government intends to deploy adequate emergency relief to avert further loss of lives in the region. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Great. Refer to the Departmental Committee on Regional Development and to be replied to 2 weeks after recess. Honorable Raso again undertake to inform the Chair.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Most obliged.
The next statement is by the Honorable Peter Kihungi, MP, Kangema.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Speaker. Pursuant to the provision of Standing Order 44-2C, I rise to request for a statement from the Chairperson of the Department Committee on Tourism Wildlife regarding the prevalence of stray wild dogs attacks in Kangema constituency. Honorable Speaker, in the past few months, residents of Kangema constituency have witnessed a worrying escalation of attacks by stray wild dogs, which has resulted in life-threatening injuries to the residents, loss of livestock, and led to widespread fear among the residents. On 29th October 2025, Mr. Julius Gujiri of ID number 1912235 was attacked by wild dogs in Kehuro village and rushed to Mount Kenya Hospital, where he is currently recuperating. His cow was also attacked and later tested positive for rabies on 18th November 2025. The cow thereafter died as a result of rabies on 19th November 2025. Similarly, on 8th November 2025, Ms. Beatrice Nyabura Mwagi of ID number 12667325 was also attacked in the same village by wild dogs barely a week after Mr. Gojiri instance. On the same day, Ms. Ruse Waithera Kamau of ID number 144488851 was attacked by wild dogs at Kagongo village in Keirate sublocation and is currently receiving treatment at Kagema level 3 hospital. In addition to human attacks, the wild dogs also attack livestock even in Homestead. This incident indicates serious escalating matter of public concern, especially with the confirmation of rabies in one of the affected animals. The residents of Kehuro, Kagongo, and Keirate village now live in fear, fearing unsafe even within their own homestead. Although these incidents have been reported at Kagema police station, no action has been taken to curb this attack. While the control of domestic animals generalized with the county government, the incident reported in Kagema involved packs of wild dogs and feral dogs whose behavior and repeated attack pose risk associated with dangerous wildlife, which are under the mandate of Kenya Wildlife Service. Honorable Speaker, it is against this background that I request for a statement from the Chairperson, Departmental Committee on Tourism and Wildlife on the following. 1, an incident report on wild stray dogs attack in Kagema constituency over the past 12 months, including medical and veterinary records. 2, measures put in place by the Ministry of Tourism and Wildlife to put down the wild dogs, including emergency response mechanism in collaboration with the Ministry of Health. And 3, plans by the ministry to compensate the affected residents and livestock owners, including specific timeline for the said compensation. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Great. The statements referred to the Departmental Committee on Tourism and Wildlife and to be replied to 2 weeks after recess. The last statement here is by the Honorable Gideon Kimayo. Is Honorable Gideon Kimayo in the House?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Honorable Speaker, pursuant to the provisions of Standing Order 44.2c, I rise to request for a statement from the Chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Trade, Industry and Cooperatives regarding the delayed payments owed to dairy farmers supplying milk to the new Kenya Cooperative Creameries, that is the new KCC. Honorable Speaker, farmers supplying milk to new KCC have raised grave concerns over prolonged non-payments of dues amounting to approximately 300 million shillings accumulated between August and October 2025. This delay has placed dairy farmers, particularly smallholder producers, under immense financial strain. Many rely on timely monthly payments to purchase animal feeds, access veterinary services, meet household needs, service agricultural loans, and sustain dairy operations. As a direct consequence of these unpaid dues, farmers are now struggling to maintain their herds, with some reportedly reducing production or disposing of livestock to manage escalating costs and avoid further losses. Honorable Speaker, farmers further contend that the new KCC has renegated on its commitment to implement the cash 50 shillings per litre farm gate price for milk, in line with the directive issued by His Excellency the President, aimed at cushioning farmers and promoting a fair and sustainable dairy market. This has further deepened the economic distress of farmers already contending with high production costs, inflationary pressures, and volatile market conditions. The continued financial hardships facing farmers
who form the backbone of Kenya's dairy sector, pose a significant threat to agricultural productivity, food security, and rural economic stability. The plight calls for urgent redress to protect livelihoods, restore confidence in dairy value chain, and ensure fair compensation for their labor and investment. Honorable Speaker, it is against this background that I seek a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Trade, Industry, and Cooperatives on the following. 1. The measures the ministry is taking to ensure that the new KCC settles all outstanding payments owed to farmers, including the delayed dues amounting to approximately 300 million shillings. 2. The steps the ministry is taking to ensure full implementation of the 50 shillings per litre farm gate price for milk as directed by His Excellency the President, and what mechanisms are in place to monitor the compliance by the new KCC and other processors. The long-term interventions being put in place to prevent recurrence of delayed payments by new KCC, including oversight, regulatory enforcement, and financing measures to safeguard farmers' income and stabilize the dairy sector. And lastly, the status report on the financial health, operational capacity, and liquidity of the new KCC, and indicate whether these delays point to underlying structural or management challenges within the institution. I thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Very well, the statement is referred to the Departmental Committee on Trade, Industry, and Cooperatives. Is the chair in the House? Are you a member of that committee? Okay, then wait. This statement to be replied to 2 weeks after recess. And yes, what do you have to say, Honorable? The honor of the statement, please give.
Honorable Speaker, I know you are going for recess. Farmers have not been paid for 3 months now. So if we wait for this statement to come in February, farmers will continue to suffer. I don't know what interventions, Mr. Speaker, that can be made so that a statement, even if it is released within 1 week, even if we are in recess, because we care about our farmers, and you see the interest in members.
Order, Honorable Gideon Kimayo. You know, if you had brought this statement much earlier, and I'm a religious follower of the House, I sit just right behind where you are, we would have already dealt with it. Now that you brought it at the last end, we shall still have to follow the standing orders of the House. Yes, Honorable Muchangi.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I am concerned over the issues raised by Honorable Gideon Kimayo. And while he has brought a statement now, I am on record, Honorable Speaker, as having brought a statement on the same issue of non-payment of dues owed to milk farmers.
Honorable Muchangi.
Honorable
Muchangi. The matter concerning the tea payments, or the payment to farmers of tea, is a big matter that has been discussed not by just only you, by many, many members. And I think several interventions have been undertaken. Yes. And therefore, I think we don't usually discuss statements. You will have a chance to have a bite on this when the replies do come. Honorable members, I want to thank you for your resilience to undertake the many, many matters that concern Kenyans, and also wish you the very best as we go on the long recess, and also proceed for Christmas and New Year. And again, I want to join the rest of the leaders to wish the teams that are going to Uganda the best as we proceed. Honorable members, we may be up, standing. Honorable members, and the time now being 9:13 p.m., this House stands adjourned until Tuesday, 10th February 2026 at 2:30 p.m.